It's my feel-good breakfast show.
With us via Skype to chat about the impact of this new technique and what it might have on the future of human reproduction, fertility specialist and president of the South African Society for Reproductive Medicine, Dr. Paul Leroux. Now, Doctor, first of all, thank you so much for joining us this morning via Skype. I mean, experts around the world see this as the next big breakthrough in reproductive medicine. Are you optimistic about its potential?
We're very excited about it. It's one of the first times that such amazing research has been done on one of the most basic premises of human reproduction. So this is a very exciting field, and the doctors in South Africa are going to be watching the progress of this Oversicience company very carefully, as I'm sure most of the doctors around the world are watching.
Okay, well, the belief has always been that once all your eggs are gone, you can't produce a baby. But with the egg precursor cells, or what they call it PC cells, it opens up a whole new adventure and also opportunity for all of us to fall pregnant. Are these cells limitless? So if so, does it mean that you can't theoretically have a baby or you can have a baby at any age?
Yeah, theoretically, if the science was correct, it would mean that you could produce new eggs at any age. In men, sperm are produced all the way through their lives, and this is why men can have children when they're much older, often into their 50s or 60s, whereas generally with women, once they're over the age of about 41, it's very difficult to conceive, and most women can't have a child over the age of 45 with their own eggs. So this technique is potentially a way of producing a new set of eggs that could work in a woman who's a lot older. However, saying that, this is very early research, and we're not at the stage of knowing whether this is going to be clinically useful for our patients yet. So there's still a lot of research to do and a lot of work in terms of the safety of the procedure.
Doctor, you just said it. I mean, the research is still in its early stages. Now, when it comes to stem cell research, there are always ethical concerns. What are some of the major safety concerns that will need to be considered?
I think work that occurs in very early embryos is quite basic in terms of safety concerns. Because just watching cells starting to grow in an embryo doesn't really tell you that the genetics of that new embryo is definitely fine and that a child that's born will be healthy. We know from cloning experiments in animals that you can clone an animal, but very often there are genetic problems that are associated with those type of techniques. This is a reason that reproductive cloning is generally banned in humans. So I think any new technique where manipulate eggs or manipulate genetics needs to be done very carefully, and we need to think about all the safety concerns as we progress along these new sciences. But they are very fascinating, and I think it may well help many infertility patients in the future.
It is very exciting. Now, if the technique continues to prove successful with human trials later this year, when might we see, if applied in South Africa, are there legislative requirements that would need to change in order for it to be legal here in South Africa?
I think in South Africa, we are very good in terms of fertility medicine. There are patients that travel from all around the world to South Africa to have their fertility treatment done. And certainly any new advances would be taken up in South Africa in a similar way that they would be to many other places in the world. One of the things that's very important is that new science in our field progresses very rapidly. So new technologies come up before the time of ethical and legal guidelines. And many times government legislation and ethics bodies are behind in keeping up with new developments in modern fertility treatment. So we have to be very wary and careful when new treatments come up, that we only apply these in a very careful way, and we think very much about the safety of the technique. We need to know that the children that are born from these new techniques will be healthy and fine, and therefore we really need rigorous testing to make sure that that will be the case.
Oh, well, this is exciting, and thank you very much, Dr. LaRue, for joining us on our Feel Good Breakfast show this morning. You heard it, good news for most of us, people out there that is pioneering, making sure that they're making life just a little bit easier for us, and we can't wait for that treatment to reach South Africa. Now, you can let us know, I mean, what do you think about using stem cells to create human life? We want to know from you on our Facebook page this morning. You know where to grow, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, or on our Twitter feed at Expresso Show. Don't forget to use the hashtag as well, Expresso Show. That question again, we say, what do you think using stem cells to create human life?